What's up, entrepreneurs? Tessa here with IdeaPros marketing team. And today we have a show that's been pre-recorded because my voice is non-existent today. So I am just going to dive right into that. But before we go on over to a video from Fred for the holiday season, I wanted to let you guys know that next Friday, we have an Ask Fred session. So be sure to submit your questions. There is a form you can submit questions from on all our posts, every one of our Facebook Live ones. So you can click that Q&A and submit questions for that, or you can text us back your questions that you want us to ask. It could be anything entrepreneurial or entrepreneurial mindset, advice, just life lessons that Fred may have learned. And you can submit those through that Q&A or submit them through Facebook or YouTube to us. And then we will compile them all up for that session and answer as many questions as we can. So that's next Friday. And then just another reminder that we are taking videos for the entrepreneurial advice show, which will be in December. You can submit your advice for entrepreneurs. You do not have to be a partner to do this. We'll put clips from everybody. So Odin, I know you out there, you should be submitting a clip to me with some entrepreneurial advice and something that you've learned over your life as an entrepreneur. And we'll be collecting all those up. You can send those to me. We got my puppy here. You can send those to me at Tessa@IdeaPros.com. All right. So I'm going to let you guys listen to the Fred video, and I will see you all next week.
Hey guys, it's Thanksgiving weekend. I hope you had a great Thanksgiving yesterday. I know we spend times with our families, and sometimes that ends up kind of rough when the uncle from that other state comes in and ruins your whole political viewpoint, but you're going to get over it, and Christmas is around the corner. So I wanted to take this time and forget about all that kind of stuff and think, thankfully, internally about the things that each of us go through during the entire year, about the things that we do, the things that we dream about, our goals, our ambitions, things that didn't even work out for us. I really like to reflect on this day and this weekend and be thankful for, number one, all of you that take time out every single week, many of you, to come and listen to me, listen to Tessa, and get some advice and provide input of your own. I think that that's critically important for you to grow and for us to grow, because we grow the more we learn, and we learn a lot when we talk to you, because we're always putting our best self forward. And when we do that, we can emulate that behavior 7 days a week. So thank you guys for all of that. I've been on a lot of podcasts recently, and a couple of them, they asked me how I started and where I decided to become an entrepreneur and how things turned in my life to make the differences that I've been able to achieve over these many years. And it's caused me to reflect a lot on things I haven't thought about for years. One of the first things that someone asked me just a few days ago is about my early childhood and how that was, and whether or not that had any impact on me to make me an entrepreneur later in my life. And I thought about that, and I was a young boy growing up in Italy with an Italian mom from Tuscany, an Italian family on that side, and my American dad from Massachusetts. And the whole dichotomy of those two worlds were so polar opposite that it really did have an effect on me. You know, my Italian family was kids run around the table, they get lira for doing little tricks at the dinner table, and they could talk and laugh and go and help Nonna in the kitchen between courses. And on my father's side, Massachusetts, it's not true for everybody in Massachusetts, but certainly from his little town and his family, very stoic, very rigid. Kids should not speak until they're spoken to. I remember later in my life where we would, and I don't even remember whether this actually happened or it was just a continual threat, but if we ate with our arms out, my dad would bring 2 books out, and we'd have to hold a book under each arm for the rest of the meal to make sure we ate properly. Really rigid. If I tried to hide some fat from my steak under the mashed potatoes, he would find it, and I'd have to eat the fat by itself. Meanwhile, the Italian lifestyle was completely different. So I didn't know day to day, from parent to parent, what my life was going to be that day. And that uncertainty in life is really what entrepreneurship is all about. And I think if I can go back to 3 or 4 years of age, that's really where I got the guts to be able to not only accept uncertainty, but to embrace it. Because as an entrepreneur, if you don't have uncertainty ahead of you, you're probably not creating anything that is that different, that unusual, that creative, because entrepreneurship comes from these black holes of nothingness where you're creating something that didn't exist before. And so being able to cope with that uncertainty as a child really helped me. And there was another instance that I was asked about later in my life, after I got out of high school, and my rock band that I thought was going to be my career, but ended up being nothing. When I first started working for another company, I was always kind of a creative sort, and I always wanted to try to help the company do better. And I would take it upon myself to go to my boss and say, hey, why don't we do this idea? Why don't we do that idea? Why don't we do these things differently? And every time my boss would tell me, that's a stupid idea, and that's nothing that's going to work. And 2 months later, he would implement it in the company and take it as his own idea. That happened 3 times. And the last time it happened, I swore I would never work for anybody else again. And I never did. And that's really where my entrepreneurial money-making journey started. And I've been at it ever since, from when I was 21 years old until now. At 72, still cranking and threatening to my children that I'll retire by the time I hit 90. So when you guys reflect on the things that you're thankful for, look at experiences even like that, the ones that were bad experiences at the time, but helped shape who you are today. Those experiences become the bedrock, the foundation of what you can grow from. And when you can accept them and appreciate them and embrace them, then you're going to be better and better as a person. You know, they say that you spend the first half of your career working on your resume and the second half working on your eulogy. And it's time to give back. And all of you that are well advanced in your careers, even if you're starting a new one, when you're thinking through the things that you need to do as an entrepreneur and that next business that you're going to have, think about giving back, thinking about helping the community, helping your family, helping the world, whatever you want to help, make that a critical component of whatever it is that you're going to do. If you can do that, you're going to do a lot of good things for a lot of people. We talk about karma and whether or not that's mystical or not, good karma, bad karma. No. It's not mystical at all. It's a matter-of-fact thing. The better that you do for others, the more people are going to come to you and help you out. It's black and white stuff. It's not mystical, pie in the sky stuff. Be a good person and good things will happen to you. You're still going to make mistakes. You're still going to have setbacks. You're still going to have failures. But if you wake up as a dedicated, persevering, good human being, you're going to do a lot better for yourself and for the world. So happy Thanksgiving to all of you. I look forward to seeing you next Friday. Tessa and I will be here and ready to take your questions and hopefully gear up for making next year an amazing adventure for all of us.